Hello, nowadays we all use computers for some or the other reason. Today we will be studying the characteristics of computers which make them user friendly, evolution of computer as a powerful machine and the generations of computer. As the environment is becoming global and complex, the volume of data that is being generated is increasing manifold day by day. This voluminous data has to be processed and organized in a meaningful form. If this processing is done with manual methods using paper files, it would be complicated and almost impossible. But using computers, the whole process of data collection, storage, processing and retrieval has become easy. Using computers, the time required to perform various tasks is reduced to a great extent. Time thus saved can be utilized for more productive work. Computers also have solved problems like storage space, spoilage, etc., which are related with paper files. Computerization is not only desirable, but is essential as it saves time, efforts, money, etc., which can be more effectively used for other major activities. The study of computer technology begins with the invention of computer and its evolution into a powerful machine. All this happened over a period of time and is based on many technological developments. The modern computer systems have gone through 5 generations of evolution. With each stage of development, path-breaking inventions in electronics have occurred, with the result that computers based on older technology of electronics have been replaced by a newer form of machines. Increasing popularity of computers has proved that it is a very powerful and useful machine. This is due to the characteristics such as accuracy, speed, diligence, versatility, etc. Computer is a device that processes given data to derive the required and useful information. Computer is an electronic machine that can solve problems by accepting data, performing certain operations on data and producing results of those operations under the direction of detailed step-by-step instructions. Such a sequence of instructions which causes a computer to perform particular operations is called a program. Computers prove to be very useful in fulfilling various requirements like in business, computers are used for word processing, accounting, payroll processing, keeping personal record, etc. In healthcare, computer is used to monitor pulse rate, blood pressure and other vital signs. It is used for weather forecasting. It is used in the field of education, which enhances students' performance considerably. In recent years, computer usage has increased in people having interests in history, literature, music, graphics, arts and other branches of humanities. Computers are becoming popular and indispensable day by day due to their characteristics. These characteristics are: number 1, speed. A computer performs operations such as adding and subtracting numbers, comparing letters to determine alphabetical sequence, etc. at great speed. This speed varies from a few microseconds, that is millionth of a second, to nanoseconds, that is billionth of a second. For example, a computer can evaluate investment decisions by performing thousands of machine operations in a second. Second characteristic, accuracy. Computers are very accurate. They can perform thousands of operations with great accuracy. They can run errorless for days. Once the correct program and correct data is given, the computer gives the last calculation with the same accuracy as the first one, even if it may be the 1 millionth calculation. Third characteristic, reliability. Computer output is very reliable, subject to the condition that the data input to the computer is correct and programs, that is, the sequence of instructions given to the computer is reliable and correct. Incorrect input data and unreliable programs give wrong results. This is referred to as garbage in, garbage out. Fourth characteristic, diligence. Unlike human beings, a computer is free from monotony, tiredness and lack of concentration. It can work for hours without creating an error. Computer is a machine. It does not feel tired and distracted. It does not have emotions or stress and hence can work for hours. If 10 million calculations are to be performed, a computer will perform the last one with exactly the same accuracy and speed as the first one. Fifth property, versatility. A computer can perform any task provided the set of instructions to perform the task is given. For example, at one moment it is preparing results of examinations and at the next moment it is busy calculating salaries of employees. Such varied tasks can be done with the help of respective programs. Sixth characteristic, storage. A computer can store and recall any amount of information due to its secondary storage. It can store a lot of information. It can retain information as long as the user desires, and the user can recall the information whenever required. Ever since man thought of counting, he developed the concept of computing. He initially used sticks, pebbles, lines on walls of caves for counting. Then he moved towards counting using fingers of his hands. The quest for better computing made him work towards a device which could do all that he wanted in computing. There has been a series of devices before this revolutionary device, that is computer, could be invented. The devices like abacus, mechanical calculator are predecessors of modern day computer. Researchers invented computer because of man's search for fast and accurate calculating device. Evolution of computer into a powerful machine has happened over a period of time and is based on many technological developments. Significant steps in evolution of computers are: Blaise Pascal invented the first mechanical adding machine in 1642. In 1671, Baron Gottfried Wilhelm von Leibniz of Germany invented the first calculator for multiplication. Around 1880, keyboard machines originated in the United States. Hermann Hollerith used the concept of punched cards as input medium for computers in late 1970s. Charles Babbage is considered as the father of modern digital programmable computers. He had employed a group of clerks for preparing mathematical and statistical tables. Even with utmost care, human errors could not be eliminated. Hence, Babbage had to spend several hours checking these tables. He became dissatisfied with this type of monotonous job. As a result, he started thinking about building a machine that could compute error-free tables. In the process, Babbage designed a difference engine in the year 1822 that could produce reliable tables. In 1842, Babbage foresaw a completely automatic analytical engine for performing basic arithmetic functions for any mathematical problem. This machine could perform these basic arithmetic functions at an average speed of 60 additions per minute. However, due to unavailability of precision engineering required to produce the machine, he was unable to produce a working model of this machine. Nevertheless, his efforts established a number of principles which were fundamental to the design of modern digital programmable computer. Early automatic calculating machines had their programs wired on boards that made it difficult to change programs. In 1940, Dr. John von Neumann came up with the stored program concept, which helps him in overcoming the problem of hardwired program. The basic idea behind this concept was that a sequence of instructions and data can be stored in computer memory, which would automatically direct the flow of operations. This feature considerably influenced development of modern digital computer. Like human generation gaps in tradition or thinking, different computer generations are characterized by their technology of basic computing elements. Let us know about the different generations of computer. In computers, generation provides a framework for the growth of computer industry based on technological development. The transition from one computer generation to the next is a result of many years of research efforts and radical breakthroughs made during the years, thus changing the face of existing technologies. It is also quite difficult to be very precise about the end of one generation and the beginning of the next generation. As the computers evolved over generations, each generation has made technological evolution and various changes in the characteristics like storage capacity, speed, reliability, power consumption, portability and so on. Modern computer systems have gone through 5 generations of evolution. Characteristic features of different generations of computer are: first generation from 1942 to 1955. Vacuum tubes were used in the circuits of these computers. A vacuum tube was a fragile glass device using filaments as a source of electronics and could control and amplify electronic signals. It was the only high speed electronic switching device available in those days. The interface between man and the machine, that is computer, was through machine language consisting of ones and zeros. The first generation of computers was giant, having special purpose. They consumed high power and were prone to failures due to the low reliability of vacuum tubes. They were slow in operation and possessed limited computing capacity. Since large amount of heat was generated during operation, intense air conditioning was essential for their maintenance. Also, since these computers were difficult to program and use, they had limited commercial use. Memory of these computers used electronic relays. Data and instructions were fed into the computer using punched cards. Examples of first generation computers are UNIVAC-1, that is Universal Automatic Computer, IBM 701, that is International Business Machines Corporation, ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, EDSAC, Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator, EDVAC, Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. Now, characteristics of second generation, which was from 1955 to 1964. They were more than 10 times faster than the first generation computers. They were manufactured using transistors. Transistors are semiconductor devices that are functionally equivalent to vacuum tubes, but are smaller in size. Transistors have low power consumption, low cost and more reliable replacement for vacuum tubes. They consumed less power and dissipated less heat than the first generation computers. Computers built using transistors were compact in size and occupied less space. Use of transistors fastened the processing speed and reduced the computational time from milliseconds to microseconds. The second generation machines had less hardware failures and better portability. Magnetic disk and magnetic tape were the main secondary storage devices used in second generation computers. High level languages, for example, Fortran, COBOL were used. Examples of second generation computers are IBM 7030, Honeywell 400. Now, characteristics of third generation, which was from 1964 to 1975. They were capable of performing about 1 million instructions per second. Third generation of computers were manufactured using IC, that is integrated circuit. Hence, the size was further reduced. Integrated circuits are circuits consisting of several electronic components like transistors, resistors and capacitors grown on a single chip of silicon, eliminating wired interconnection between components. Initially, the integrated circuits contained only about 10 to 20 components. This technology was called small scale integration. Later, it became possible to integrate about 100 components on a single chip. This technology was known as medium scale integration. Power consumption of computers was reduced in third generation and their reliability was vastly improved. They were less prone to hardware failures than second generation computers, requiring lower maintenance cost. Time sharing operating system allowed interactive usage and simultaneous use of these systems by multiple users. Standardization of high level programming languages allowed programs written for one computer to be easily ported to and executed on another computer. Development of mini computers took place during third generation. Mini computers were affordable for smaller companies. High level programming languages, for example, Pascal, BASIC were introduced. Examples of third generation: IBM 360/370, PDP-8, PDP-11. Fourth generation of computers, which was from 1975 to 1989. Their characteristics are: the circuits used VLSI, that is very large scale integration. It was possible to integrate about 1 million electronic components on a single chip. This led to a creation of microprocessor. A microprocessor contains all circuits needed to perform arithmetic, logic and control functions. The core activities of all computers on a single chip. PCs, that is personal computers, were smaller and cheaper than mainframes or mini computers of third generation. They consumed less power than third generation computer. They were more reliable and less prone to hardware failures than third generation computers, requiring negligible maintenance cost. They were general purpose machines. Their manufacturing did not require manual assembly of individual components into electronic circuits. This resulted in the reduction of cost and human labor involved in assembly stage. Hence, commercial production of these systems became simpler and cheaper. Unix operating system became very popular for use on large scale systems. Software technologies like C programming language, object-oriented software design and object-oriented programming became popular in the 4th generation. Examples of 4th generation computers: IBM PC, Cray 1, Cray 2. 5th generation of computers from 1989 till date. VLSI technology became ULSI, that is ultra large scale integration technology in the 5th generation. This resulted in production of microprocessor chips having 10 million electronic components. Portable PCs called notebooks are much smaller and handy than PCs of 4th generation. Due to this, users could use computing facility while traveling also. They consume less power than their predecessors. They are general purpose machines. Use of standard high level programming languages allows programs written for one computer to be ported to and executed on another computer. Many of the large scale 5th generation systems have hot plug feature. This feature enables a failed component to be replaced with a new one without the need to shut down the system. Hence, the uptime of these systems is very high. They have ability to apply previously gained knowledge. They can even draw conclusions and then execute a task. The computer will stimulate the human ability to reason. That is to say, the computers will have to be able to classify information, search large databases rapidly, plan, apply the rules which humans regard as clear thinking, make decisions and learn from their mistakes. Input devices for the 5th generation computers could also include speech and visual recognition. Some of the technological advances which enabled the development of 5th generation computers include parallel processing. Many processors are grouped together to function as one large group processor. Superconductors. Superconductor is a conductor through which electricity can travel without any resistance, resulting in faster transfer of information between the components of a computer. During 5th generation, the internet emerged with associated technologies and applications. It made possible for computer users across the globe to communicate with each other within minutes using electronic mail. 5th generation computing devices based on artificial intelligence are still in development, though there are some applications such as voice recognition which is being used today. The use of parallel processing and superconductors is helping to make artificial intelligence a reality. Java programming language became popular during 5th generation. Examples of 5th generation computers: IBM notebooks, Pentium PCs, Param supercomputer. There are some misconceptions regarding computers. The first one, computer can work on its own. Computer requires a set of instructions, that is a program to perform a task. Otherwise, computer or the hardware is of no use. For example, if we wish to write a program in a particular programming language for some calculation, we have to specify the formulae and instructions, and only then the computer can perform the calculations. Second misconception, computer is intelligent. Computer has to be instructed about each and every step it has to perform. That is, each and every task to be performed by it should be given in detail. Computer does not assume any instruction which might have been missed by us and may give an error or incorrect results till we write all instructions. Third misconception, computer can take decisions on its own. One has to program the computer to take an action if some conditions prevail. Computer will not validate the result and decide whether it is right or wrong, but will only display the result as instructed to it. To summarize, The quest of man for a life which is quick, hassle-free and flexible led him towards computerization of almost every aspect of his daily life, which ensures quality in his life. Computerization is not only desirable, but is essential as it saves time, efforts, money, etc., which can be more effectively used for other activities. The use of computers in diverse fields such as healthcare, education, business is because of certain characteristics of computer such as accuracy, speed, diligence, versatility, etc. The evolution of computer has passed through a number of stages before it reached the present state of development. The evolution of computers has followed various steps in technology used, and these steps of technological differences are called generations in computer terminology. There are 5 generations of computers till today. In brief, a computer is also known as a data processor because it can store, process and retrieve data whenever required. Data is raw material given as input to the computer, and information is processed data obtained as output. The power and usefulness of computer is due to its characteristics such as speed, accuracy, diligence, versatility, storage. Charles Babbage is considered as the father of modern digital programmable computer. Generation in computer terminology provides framework for the growth of computer industry based on key technological developments. Till date, there are 5 generations of computer. I hope that you would have understood all the information and would have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.